Good evening, good morning, good afternoon. My name is Bobby Bob, Crypto Granny, and I am here to talk about everything crypto. First thing I want to open up with is a question. Is anybody buying the dips? If so, hit me in the comments and let me know what you're buying. Second thing I want to talk about is Navy Federal Bank is now selling crypto. It's the first bank, it's the sixth bank selling crypto, but it's the first bank in the US that is officially offering it. I'm going to share a story and we're going to go through the article together. Where are we going? Okay, here we go. Let's share the screen, make sure we can see it. This is YouTube Live. There's no editing here. It is what it is. And here we go. Let's see. This is an article from Navy Federal Credit Union. What is cryptocurrency? 5 things to know. Learn the details about cryptocurrency, a virtual currency based on blockchain technology. You can all go to NavyFederal.org and they have a little quiz and a 3-minute read up that you can basically do yourself. And you got to do your own research. But I'm giving you the information. Nobody gave me information. That's why I'm here. Bottom line up front. Cryptocurrency is an electronic money system based on blockchain technology and secured by encryption. The value of cryptocurrency changes rapidly, making it much riskier than other types of investments. Before you make any financial decisions, learn all you can about the subject and or talk to an investment advisor. I don't believe in that, but like I said, do your own research. Talk to a lot of people. Watch a lot of videos and do the common sense thing. See what makes sense to you. Sign up for account notifications, and if you think you may be a victim of fraud or identity theft, call us. This is the bank's website. This was done in February, so I guess they just released the information. You've probably heard the word cryptocurrency or crypto over the past few years, but what exactly is it? Cryptocurrency is a virtual money system protected by encryption that makes it nearly impossible to steal or counterfeit. Read these 5 facts to understand the basics of how it works. Cryptocurrency is 100% electronic. Most money systems produce physical coins or paper money and are backed by or attached to a government. Cryptocurrency is electronic and it isn't attached to a government. It's decentralized, which means it's not owned or controlled by any person, government, or any other organization. Instead, all the users together are in control. So I invest in crypto, I'm in control of my own investment. You invest, you're in control. There's no middleman. Many cryptocurrencies are based on blockchain technology. Essentially, blockchain is a database that stores information differently from the way the typical database does. It collects information in sets or blocks. When the blocks are filled, they're connected or chained to the previous blocks and can't be changed. So if I buy $1 of Bitcoin and I sell Bitcoin $1, it'll show you who bought it after I sold it. So it's basically a paper trail, but electronically. Nothing is passed on. There's no middleman involved. That is what the blockchain is. The transaction and verification processes use mathematical algorithms, which make them more secure. All this information is duplicated and stored electronically across a number of computers. The system makes it nearly impossible to change or hack. When you purchase crypto, your coin ownership records are stored electronically. Okay, so there's something else I want to go into. You are stored electronically. Okay, let's go back. Number 3, you can buy, sell, or use cryptocurrency to buy services or goods. Anyone can purchase crypto through dedicated exchanges. These exchanges typically charge a fee based on the size of your transaction. To hold your purchases, you'll create a wallet, an app that holds your currency. So far, only a few retailers, mostly online, accept certain forms of crypto for purchases, and you may be able to use crypto to buy gift cards for a select number of merchants. We'll get into that in a few. The value of various cryptocurrencies can change rapidly. Unlike the US dollar, there's no central authority that maintains the crypto's value. As a result, the value can go up and down very quickly. For that reason, buying crypto as an investment can be much riskier than others. With that said, the rewards are way greater than just keeping your money in the bank, in my opinion. Do your own research. Okay, I'm just giving feedback to this article. Okay, if you're thinking of using cryptocurrency to diversify your investment portfolio, consider investing in large companies that are investing in the technology instead. First, learn about the company that developed it. Then check how far along the coin is and if any other well-known investors are investing in it. If you're uncertain or aren't sure you understand, talk to an investment advisor. Talk to everybody, anybody. There's Discord, there's crypto Twitter, there's YouTube, there's channels like mine and many others out there. You have to do your own research. There are thousands of cryptocurrencies being traded. In fact, tonight there's about 19,500 and something projects that you can purchase and invest in. I honestly think and I hope that only 100 of them will stay around. So you have to really, know what you're doing before you invest anything into this. It takes time, do your research. There was only one type of coin available in the early days, and that was Bitcoin. Bitcoin is the grandfather of all crypto, the first one ever invented, and everything else followed. But we will get into that later. Today, you'll find thousands of other alternate coins known as altcoins. New coins are brought to the market all the time, often raising money through initial coin offerings or ICOs. At Navy Federal Bank, we're partners in security. If you'd like to learn more about how we protect your accounts and some easy steps you can take to protect yourself, visit our security center. Also, if you ever suspect you're a victim of fraud or identity theft, you can call that number. So do your own research, and hey, banks are going to be adopting and selling, and the reason they're going to be selling it because they see that all these exchanges are selling cryptocurrency. And when you buy cryptocurrency, for the most part of it, there's a fee when you purchase it, there's a fee when you sell it, and whoever the exchange is, whether it be Coinbase, KuCoin, Robinhood, they make money off of holding the coins, but you have to get your coins into a wallet because there is a saying, not your keys, not your crypto. Stand by. Charles Hoskinson is talking. Let's see what he got to say. He's the creator of Cardano. Stand by. Let's see. Stand by.
But an important place to be. So as many of you know, the regulatory reality environment has changed a bit over the last few years. And it's gotten to a point where many people in Washington, both in the executive branch and in the legislative branch, feel the desire, need, and want to begin actually regulating or enhancing, I should say, or changing the way that regulation is handled in the United States with cryptocurrencies. To this end, it's a bit hard to predict what's going to happen, where things are going to go. So I made the decision to bring a delegation to Washington. And so I spent this entire week meeting with different lobbying groups, advocacy groups, attending events, meeting with congressional staff and staff of the U.S. Senate, as well as members of different bodies like the CFTC, and try to get a better sense of where things have gone and what legislative actions are underway at the moment. In terms of ongoing efforts, I'm going to highlight three different things that I think have some degree of...
Stand by. I'm going to play him. I'm going to play him for you in one moment.
For our executive order, which is calling for.
Please stand by. I'm going to be playing Charles Hoskinson.
It's gotten to a point where many people in Washington, both in the executive branch and in the legislative branch, feel a desire, need, and want to begin actually regulating or enhancing, I should say, or changing the way that regulation is handled in the United States with cryptocurrencies. To this end, it's a bit hard to predict what's going to happen, where things are going to go. So I made the decision to bring a delegation to Washington. And so I've spent this entire week meeting with different lobbying groups, advocacy groups, attending events, meeting with congressional staff and staff of the U.S. Senate, as well as members of different bodies like the CFTC, and try to get a better sense of where things are going and what legislative actions are underway at the moment. In terms of ongoing efforts, I'm going to highlight three different things that I think have some degree of influence and viability over the regulatory reality moving forward for our industry. First is HR 7614. This is a bill called the Digital Commodities Exchange Act. The basic idea is to change the way that regulation handles ICOs and change the way that trading of tokens work. But the long and the short is that it provides a lot of necessary clarity, and in many cases, it pushes cryptocurrencies more towards the treatment of being a commodity than a security, from the perspective of long-term ongoing regulation for things that are sufficiently decentralized. It simplifies standards for exchanges, and it provides much needed clarity in a lot of edge cases that could allow us as an industry to move forward. The political reality of the bill is it's unlikely to pass in its current form. However, it is creating a great conversation, and many people are starting to have conversations about uh, the nature of tokens. What is a digital commodity pre-sale? How should insider trading, market manipulation, information asymmetries be treated, and so forth? Another major legislative effort, and this is in the Senate. America has a bicameral model. The U.S. Senate has the Lummis-Gillibrand bill, which will be announced and deployed around June 7th, so next month, before consensus. Now, this bill is significantly more comprehensive in scope. It covers many different areas, from taxes to self-regulatory organizations. It has some discussion on commodities and securities and notions like sufficiently decentralized. It's over 140 pages long from drafts that I've seen. And we've known about the existence of this bill in one form or another since last year. However, this is the first time that the bill has received bipartisan traction, and it has a degree of inevitability to spark an interesting debate throughout the Senate. But it requires four separate committees to survive and move through the process. And again, it's unlikely in its current form to pass. But both bills do provide a much needed conversation throughout Washington and a much needed reality check that regulation will come in a different and hopefully better form so that we as an industry can move forward. Now, the third effort is the Biden executive order, which is calling for a unified approach amongst all actors in the executive branch. So the first report will be due sometime, I believe, in June, if they're on schedule. And then throughout the year, things will trickle out. Now, it's my belief that these three things will collide into each other in some form. And if there is any will or desire to pass legislation, that the end result of these three things colliding will be some form of compromise agreement. Now, many people ask, what is my position? What are the things I lobby for? What are the things my organization lobbies for? And in many of the conversations I had with congressional staff and Senate staff, they asked exactly the same thing. I believe that we need to do three things in order to be able, as an industry, to move forward. First, our industry lacks any coherent definition of decentralization. So the problem is that as a result of that lack of definition, there are over 8,000 projects in the cryptocurrency space that on a regular and consistent basis are making claims of decentralization, yet because we don't have a basis upon which to validate those claims or to hold those claims accountable, basically it's an open phrase, it's an open word. And the challenge there is that these claims are inferring certain properties about consumer protection, certain properties about market structure, and certain properties that are encouraging people to invest time, effort, and money into building on these systems. The lack of clarity and the lack of specificity means that people may be making decisions, often are making decisions, that in hindsight they would not. So the lack of clarity on decentralization is also creating problems of what is a commodity, what is a security, or some other category of asset. So it's my belief that we as an industry need to work with policymakers and figure out how to measure decentralization. For our part, we're going to be setting up a lab at University of Edinburgh in collaboration with the university and release several papers and try to create an index, an Edinburgh Decentralization Index. The hope here is that we can take the top 15, top 20 cryptocurrency projects and others in the DeFi space and measure them in an explicit way, an explicit scale. And then people can see how they measure up in reference to Bitcoin according to some objective metrics. And then at least we can talk about standardizing such things. At least we can talk about the merit and credibility of such things. The existence of this, excuse me, the existence of this should provide a good basis to have a discussion with lawmakers moving forward about how to codify the notion of sufficiently decentralized as a fundamental component of regulation. Second, there is no notion of a consumer protection or consumer bill of rights with cryptocurrencies at the moment. Cryptocurrencies are in many ways a promissory estoppel. And what I mean by this is that if a person is building, for example, on open source software, they have a fundamental belief that the author of that software can't write and wake up tomorrow and decide arbitrarily to retroactively remove that open source nature and then demand a royalty. The entire notion of open source software would not work if people had this unilateral retroactive power to undo things. So we have an implicit understanding, and that's the only way the markets can work. Now, the problem with consumer protections and cryptocurrency is that some people like to believe that that implicit understanding is unlimited. When you use these protocols, if things go your way, everything's fine. If things don't go your way, then someone should be accountable for that. That's not sustainable. On the other hand, as a protocol developer, especially if a protocol developer is financially benefiting from the use and utility of the protocol, there must be some understanding that the protocol behaves. The problem is that it's difficult to decide where that spectrum lies and what things need to be put together. So this is another example of the public-private nature of a notion of a consumer bill of rights or user rights of a cryptocurrency. And it's my belief that they should be codified explicitly in the design of the system through some sort of system-wide constitutional process, system-wide user agreement, and built into the DNA of it. However, there is a legislative opportunity to decide on certain consumer protection and government principles, everything from privacy to software quality, and then create incentives for people to move in that particular direction. Third, there is a transnational notion to this marketplace, and we're in a situation where, regardless of what U.S. regulations are and what legislation is passed to create these regulations or encourage them, uh, we have to find a way as a global community to work together. And the things that happen in Dubai, Singapore, Switzerland, and other jurisdictions are just as meaningful, in some cases more so, than the things that happen here in Washington, D.C. We saw the emergence of voluntary and private standards. For example, the Wolfsburg principles with KYC and AML. This is a unique opportunity to have a discussion about how we, as a global community, can discuss about how we can create universal principles and universal concepts that are applicable throughout the cryptocurrency space. So these are the kinds of discussions that we've been having, and foundational things that we're trying to figure out. And the good news is that we're not alone in that. There are dozens of actors in DC at the moment, some of which are embedded in permanently here, and some of which have been here recently because of the collapse of Luna, as well as higher demands for regulation. Having these conversations and trying to work their way through. Some people are being very aggressive. Some firms are hiring lobbyists and PACs and promising to get involved in electoral politics if things don't go their way. Others are being more erudite, where they're investing heavily in education. From our part, every congressional member and Senate member that we've met with, they've seemed to express a genuine opportunity to get more information and to be better educated on the topic. So there seems to be some goodwill there in that respect. And it is my belief, if we continue to educate, we probably can make significant progress. That said, there is a lot of cynicism. It's very clear the legislative process in Washington, D.C. is ineffective at many times, very bureaucratic in many times, and oftentimes does not resolve the problems, the underlying root causes of the problems that they seek to solve, but just simply applies either a delay or some sort of surface cure for this evil. On the other hand, this is an industry that now has commanded a valuation until recently was over $2 trillion. And this is an industry that creates jobs that pay hundreds of thousands of dollars a year. This is an industry ways to collaborate and learn from each other. We're going to continue having discussions with lawmakers about policy, and when given drafts of bills, comment on those drafts about where the language can be more effective. And from our part, we're also going to look at emerging technologies to assist in the regulatory process. For example, making laws machine understandable, algorithmic regulation, these types of concepts, and building foundational tools that can be used for regulated activities. For example, Cardano's metadata standard can be used in this way. Atala Prism can be used to create rich identities which can adhere to compliance patterns. Always important to point out that these are optional provisions and not mandatory. We built them in a way that people can use them where and when they made sense. And you, the user, get to decide that. I just build tools all day long. I don't get to decide how you're going to use them or if you use them, but they should be made available because at least one person in the Cardano ecosystem is going to be engaging and have a desire to do regulated business, whether it be a security token offering, whether it be a regulated DeFi, whether it be legacy financial institutions like banks adopting the protocol and they want to maintain their charters. These are hundreds of use cases that are not hypothetical, but are already under construction or have been constructed and are being used on a daily basis. We simply can do better. In addition to that, it's become clear that the knowledge gap is still quite significant amongst some lawmakers and some policymakers, and that there needs to be some investments in basic education to try to bring people up to speed about where things are at, the capabilities of these systems. Too many people seem to associate cryptocurrency and blockchain technology strictly with coin market cap and the value of the underlying asset. And the reality is that there's so much more nuance and magic to the things that we build. And oftentimes, the least interesting part of cryptocurrencies and blockchain is the value of a token. It's some other property. And so that bridge has to be built and that gap has to be filled. So it's very important that we invest there. So overall, it was a very productive trip. We learned a lot. We met a lot of great people, some alliances and friendships that are quite enduring. I'm ultimately long-term optimistic that we can achieve a lot as an industry, especially with legislation like HR 7614 and the Lummis bill. These are necessary steps forward in a certain respect that create a very nice conversation to have. Now, if I had to make a prediction of what is most likely to be regulated over the next 6 to 12 months, I believe that we will see some legislative and regulatory progress in the regulation of stable coins. In particular, asset-backed stable coins are likely going to be the greatest impacted and affected. And there is certainly a conversation about how to treat and what to do with algorithmic stable coins. Now, people have different opinions, but in my particular view, especially with asset-backed stable coins, you really are in a privileged position of trust. And this is not in spirit what we signed up for in the cryptocurrency space. If you have a central issuer and the value is derived from promises of that central issuer, it really does feel a lot more like a bank or regulated financial institution than it does a decentralized protocol. Now, if the asset can be completely custodied and the management of such things can be done on a blockchain, for example, a Bitcoin-backed token or an ADA-backed token or some derivative thereof after, that's a slightly different scenario. But if the asset is a legacy asset, like, for example, the US dollar or the euro, and that requires trust and faith in a centralized institution, then it really does make sense to me that there needs to be oversight in that respect, because we've seen what happens when there isn't in the 19th century and 20th century. And we can't really trust people for indefinite periods of time to aspire to the better angels of their nature when they have financial incentives not to. So these are examples where things will likely happen over the next 6 months,
12 months, if anything will progress. Now, if you ask my personal political belief, I do believe there's a very strong possibility that there will be a change of government
in the legislative branch in 2022. How extreme is difficult to tell, but if that does occur, we will once again in the United States have divided government.
And that divided government perhaps is an opportunity for cooperation and compromise, or that divided government could only exacerbate the political divisions that we currently have in the United States. And we have plans for both sides in the event that they're exacerbated. It's just a matter of trying to survive in a very uncertain environment and do your best. If there's opportunity for compromise,
there's the potential for comprehensive legislative reform that can allow the market to stabilize around new standards.
That would be the ideal outcome. Who knows? I for one, have always been optimistic. I'm not so cynical to believe that nothing can be accomplished. I think a lot of very well-intended good people do want to see that things move forward. And a lot of good-intended well people do want to see this industry continue to survive. I was surprised by how many allies, adherents, and advocates, even amongst government officials, that I met while I was here in Washington. But proof is in action, it's not in words, and we will see over the next year or so what happens. Now, we as a community, our strength has always been our capacity and ability to hang together and to show our work. We will continue as a community testing governance experiments. We will continue as a community to ever get more decentralized, resilient, and diverse. And we as a community will continue to innovate. Many of the things we are doing in Cardano are not just about scalability and performance and DevX and quality of code, but have a lot to do with the social elements of cryptocurrency. It is a very rare and unique opportunity that each and every one of you is participating in the construction of a digital government as much as you are participating in the construction of
this weekend we got a pay-per-view event coming
everything
up.
about how decisions are made, how we change things.
The press conference let me and Carson down so far. The fight,
which is a special thing. I think there's a lot that Washington can learn.
You know what's funny is why y'all do what I'm talking about. Why y'all
could potentially have deeper ramifications than just the government.
So let's go through the other.
So it's a conversation, it's an engagement, and there's a lot of work to do.
A lot of places we have to go. A lot more shoe polish that has to be worn off, and a lot more trips to Washington. But if they're as productive as this one that I took, then that's a good thing. That's a good sign. So anyway, I'm pretty tired. I'm going to go get some sleep. But I figured I'd give you guys an update of where we've been, what we've done, and the progress we've made. I'm pretty happy with this trip. A lot more to say over the next 90 days. Do certainly AMAs about it and so forth. But for the time being, it's the best we could do. We certainly learned a lot. I really do want to close with one final point. I did discover that certain members of the Bitcoin community are actively telling lawmakers to write into legislation that everything but Bitcoin is a security.
It's disgusting, it's reprehensible, and it's unbelievable that people would tell the staff of members of Congress and Senate to do these things. Saw the messages, saw the emails, heard it from many different sources, and we know who you are. So it's childish. It doesn't really have much of an impact. And frankly, it delegitimizes the people saying and doing it. But it does show that our industry has a long way to go. We have to be mature. We have to be adults. And we have to acknowledge that problems have occurred. When tens of billions of dollars gets lost in a matter of a week, and the people responsible for that will probably still walk away with millions, if not billions of dollars. And many people were warned that these things could happen, and there are no consequences or perceived consequences. This is an invitation for heavy regulation. This is an invitation for sweeping legislative changes that in hindsight could be very damaging or problematic to our industry. And for some reason, a lot of people don't seem to want to call out this behavior. They just say, let's move on and pretend like it didn't exist. And the fact that maximalism has gotten to the point where dirty tricks are being played and people are trying to convince politicians now to encode maximalist principles into US law is another example of just the fractious nature and the childish nature and the immature and irresponsible nature of some members of this industry. I think we can all be better. And I sincerely hope that the other leaders in the space show up here and express themselves in productive, positive ways and are willing to collaborate and cooperate on some basic principles, like the standards of smart contracts, the definitions of things like decentralization, trying to create regulatory frameworks that actually make sense as opposed to ones that are just extensions of things that came up in the 1930s. I'm willing to work with it, pretty much anybody. If any leader of the cryptocurrency space called me tomorrow and said, let's do something together, I'll pick up the phone call and have that conversation. It's for the greater good of this industry as a whole. And I'd like to believe that there's at least more than one person willing to do that. And if we work together collectively, we command, as an industry, trillions of dollars of economic value in a very strong voice. If we compete with each other and fight each other, finger point, name call, or attempt to use the process to damage each other's competition, we will neither accomplish that end, nor will we achieve the end of legitimizing and stabilizing the industry. Rather, we will hand it to the legacy actors who will never give it back. It's a choice we have to make. We have to hang together, or divided, fall apart. So I'll do my part. I hope you do yours as well. I'd like to thank everyone in the Cardano community and everyone in the industry as a whole, especially the ones who are working hard here. I did run into and see people from other blockchains. I did run into see people from other projects, and a lot of them
So
are
that's
fighting
encouraging
hard.
as
So that's
well.
encouraging
And
as
I
well.
think the overwhelming majority of people do want to cooperate. They just have to find better ways of doing so. And I'll always have an open hand and open heart for that. Good night, everyone. Cheers.
Cheers.
Ladies and gentlemen, that was Mr. Charles Hoskinson, one of the main developers of Cardano ADA. And that was very, very informative stuff he gave there.
I
Hey,
like
Marty.
that Nintendo Switch has games that kids like to play together.
I like that
You heard that? Can you hear me? Hello. Welcome to the panel. Can you hear me?
Who are you talking to?
To you.
Oh.
You need to put like a little picture, even if it's just like of something in your profile.
I don't know how to do that.
You just go to the picture and you upload something. That is Marty Cardano.
So I missed some of the conversation. I missed most of the conversation.
Okay.
Give me a brief breakdown.
Well, the biggest breakdown he gave, two major things that he was saying. He's in Washington right now because he's talking with legislation and people in the government because of the regulations that they want to do with crypto. And basically,
he's saying, well, we're trying to make this lobbyists are trying to get regulation to this legit to the politicians. Like, you know, they're going to the politicians about how to fix crypto, but they failing to realize that they doing all this foul stuff in the crypto.
right? I didn't get
for these favors.
right.
So it's wrong. You know?
Okay. I was going there, but you said it all together. So basically, the one point was he's going in so they could do the regulations because they're going to have to do regulations. And we don't want it regulated to the point where the government's running it, because the whole purpose of us investing in crypto is to be decentralized. Like, you have control of your assets, and so do I. And there's no middleman. And, you know, as of today, you can buy properties. If you want to sell your house in Puerto Rico and your car in New York, you could say, I accept crypto. That's up to you as an individual.
Right.
So basically, he's going in because they have to regulate somewhere, somehow. You got 19,500 different cryptos, you know, and every day there's a new one. People are losing money. People are scamming people. I mean, there's just so much.
So technically what you're trying to say is regulate to the point in which the people don't lose hope or faith in this.
Right, because if someone went into crypto tomorrow because they believe that you are investing and you're making money and you believe in the project, and they go into something that's not legit,
right, like those people that just do it for themselves, once they make their money, they close
right,
down.
and they rug pull. Exactly. So they got to regulate like that. And the second thing he was saying is that the Bitcoin people, which Charles himself is a developer, he actually created Ethereum. Ethereum is number 2 right now.
Right.
It's Bitcoin, then Ethereum. He worked on that whole project with don't say it. I'm gonna say Vitalik. I forgot his name. Anyway, him and Vitalik were partners. They were the main developers on Ethereum, and it did well. They had a falling out, whatever their situation was.
One wanted to take it public and one wanted to keep it.
One wanted to do it public, one wanted to do it private. They had a big fallout. They probably don't talk, but Charles never talks bad about Vitalik. So now it's like if you and I were compete, like if we did a project together that was successful, now we had a problem. So you said, you know what? I'm not with Bobby no more. I'm going to make this even better because you know what we did with Ethereum.
Well,
and
this is the same thing that more or less went on with XR. No, who was it? Who was the other one that did that?
another one that did that?
Isn't there somebody else that did them?
Not that I know of. XRP is in court with the SEC because they're trying to determine whether it's a security or like it's just like a whole BS. But banks are already adopting that, and they're already buying into it. But the second thing he came out and said was the most important to me. The Bitcoin maxis, because Bitcoin was number one, and we always got to give the respect, whether we like Bitcoin or not, for opening up the universe to cryptocurrency, right? The whole idea.
Okay.
They're trying to convince the government that only Bitcoin is going to do this and that and be a security, which is BS because Bitcoin don't do anything. Yes, it holds value, but as far as programs and utility, it has zero.
Right.
Anything. So, he's saying that we all got to be mature about this and, regulate it to an extent because, like I said, the whole point is to decentralize and you do what you do, I do what I do, and the next man does what he wants to do, with no middleman. So he basically said if anybody out there wants to talk to him, if they want to do something, he's willing to listen and sit down with them because they can't be a bunch of BS. Because people are going to start, like you said, they're going to start not believing in it. And all the trillions of dollars that are in crypto right now, just imagine if they shook out all the BS projects. I don't like to curse on this channel.
All
but
those people will be coming to the legit ones.
Yeah, all that money will come into Ethereum, Cardano, XRP, like all the projects that we believe in.
Right.
And it's not so much that we just believe in them because I said so. These are things that have utility and they're useful. They have a use, So, I mean, they have to do something. And my main thing just as an investor, and that's what he's saying, that they're not paying no penalties. They're taking billions and millions of dollars. And it's like, if you did that in Wall Street, like the Wolf of Wall Street, the real dude, he was on and he was talking. He did time. He got in trouble. Like the real story about, all them Ponzi's, Wall Street. You go to jail, you do federal. But now that it's crypto, no regulation, just like the dude Upshot. I'm not no snitch, but that dude is on YouTube. Here we are a year later, not even a year. He robbed from the whole community because everybody loved him, thought he was like the grandfather, the Mr. Rogers of crypto. He befriended the whole Doge community, blamed them, made a coin. And if you look on YouTube, his name is KRISS. He has 2,000 followers now. The last time I looked, a couple of days ago. He's just got that gift to gab. So he's bringing in a whole new audience. And I'm 1,000% sure those people do not know that he is Upshot. He just changed his name to Chris. And if he had nothing to hide, why did he change his name when he built a platform of over 1 million followers? If my channel, if I did something bad on my program and I came back as Susie, right there is a red flag. Why isn't Bobby anymore? So he just comes out and he's like that happy-go-lucky guy. And eventually what he did last year, he's going to do it again. And people like that need to be, whether you're creating a coin.
But now if you go on one of his lives and you blow him up, now you're a troll. Now you're considered a troll and they'll delete you.
Exactly. But I report him to YouTube and I ask people to keep reporting him because the truth is people are going to lose money. And my goal here is to save them the headache and just do their own research.
How many followers you have?
I can't see right now, but I believe on YouTube I have about 270.
So what we have to do is grow your platform.
Yes, we will eventually. But you know what? A lot of people are more loving the channels that are BSing them, going, buy this, buy that. It's going up, it's going down. It might go up, it might go down. I don't BS here. I tell you what I buy and what I won't buy, and then you can do your research. And I try to save you from losing money. And the truth is, when you're doing positive things, it's harder to get people to be behind you. People like all that negative. People like all that. Like if you go to Twitter, crypto Twitter, yo, people literally, it's like politics. You could put on Twitter right now, I love XRP. you'll get like 100 hate messages like FXRP, buy Bitcoin, buy this. Like they're crazy. They're crazy.
Yeah, but then again, this is the way I see it. How much is the Bitcoin right now?
28,000 and change.
Okay, now from 28,000 and change, what's the prognosis of it reaching, and how much could it reach?
Well, they thought it was going to reach 100,000 in by Christmas.
I really don't foresee that now. These are people. I mean, those are high gambling. Those are high gambling people. Okay, I give that to the people that have the funds to do it. But how much? What am I going to do? Invest 28,000 on one Bitcoin and hope to God that it will go to 100?
Yeah, that's what I tell people. Why would you do that?
One, and when I could take something that maybe right now is low budget, but in the you'll make more at the long run.
Exactly. You got to buy low and sell high.
You understand? Because
and
right
Bitcoin
now,
had its run up to, what was it, 69,000? And the people were so greedy, they're still holding it right now at 28. Whoever, didn't sell because they thought it was going to 100 and they're mad. Like, you can't blame nobody for you not selling it. I do believe Bitcoin will go up to at least 100K. They think it's going to go to 1 million. But the truth is, nobody knows. Today, we're in like a sluggish, I think it's a bear market. I think it's a bull run coming. I think it's just going to go sideways. Everyone's just like butting off the chart today. But this is, wait. But let me just finish. I'm sorry. But this is the thing. Nobody knows. Everybody's speculating. Even if you could read the charts, this crypto, this run right now, like this whole thing that's going on today, crypto's never been in a situation where there's a war, there's economy problems. We got, this
inflation.
There's so much going on that we don't know. We're in uncharted waters right now. Honestly, nobody.
A lot of people, and another thing that's happening, a lot of people's holding on to the money because the future seems so unpredictable.
Yep. They said it's better to even have cash right now.
Yeah, have cash sitting in your house.
I mean,
emergencies and all this stuff that they
that's what. We don't know. We don't know what's gonna happen. You understand? First, we have to get out of this slump. We have to do the right thing. You understand? I don't know if everybody understands that, but do the right thing. And you have to hold on to a couple of dollars.
Absolutely.
What do you think? What do you think? What do you think? I'm not telling you. You're not a mind reader. You don't know what's gonna. What do you think is the best thing right now for a low investor? Let's start with the low investors because that's not you and I, but that could be a good 50% of our people.
Yes.
What is a good thing for our people, the people that do not have that much to invest, that they might see profits maybe in 5 years? That's another thing people have to understand. This is not you go into it today and in 6 months you're going to be a millionaire. You have to leave it there.
Right.
So what do you think? What do you foresee? What companies do you foresee? Let's talk on the Dogecoin. What do you see happening with the Dogecoin?
I see it going up. Not anytime soon. What I would tell people is, and I'm a Doge holder. If it wasn't for Doge, I wouldn't be in crypto. So I'm going to run with the doggy because I love Elon Musk and I love the way he's endorsing it. And
to the moon!
To the moon! And helping the community. But these are the two projects that I would tell people to dollar cost average. I don't care if you got $5 today, $10 next week, $20 next month. Buy these because one day these coins will be valued at Bitcoin's prices or even more, because these two projects that are here, ADA and Cardano is the same project, XRP. These projects long term, they're going to be, XRP was number 2 on the top 10 before the lawsuit. Then Ethereum took over. So can you imagine if XRP, when this lawsuit is over, where XRP is going to be? I honestly believe, I could be wrong, don't shoot the messenger, but these are my thoughts. I honestly feel that XRP or Cardano are going to be the top two. And I have a lot of Ethereum. I paid thousands of dollars.
Meaning the top two in money wise,
Top two in market cap and value, and they're gonna.
That it could reach the 50,000 or.
Listen, it could reach, to me, I don't even see it.
To burn coins.
I don't even see it. Listen, Ethereum right now is low. It's 1,700 and change, right? It had an all-time high of almost 5,000. Bitcoin is 28 and change, had its all-time high of 60-something thousand. So let's just say if you bought a Cardano at 48 cents today, and even if it only went up to 2,000 a piece, come on.
Yeah.
It could go to 15, 20,000. It could go to Bitcoin. I don't know. Nobody, anybody says they know.
This is a gamble. You understand? This is a gamble. That's why people don't put all your money into this, if then you're gonna be broke.
Listen, Elon Musk, he's a billionaire, he's a businessman, and you gotta respect that from anybody, whether you love him or hate him. He said, don't bet the farm on crypto. So with that alone, do what you can, how you can. $5, $100, $10,000, 100,000, whatever you can afford to put to the side and take that risk, go for it. Because if you don't do no risk, there's no reward. And as we all know, scam money don't what? Scam money don't make money. So, you know, you open up a business, you got to take whatever you have and pour it all into your business. And I believe with the correct projects that people will be successful. A lot of people are scared because they don't understand it.
Okay.
I would have been a billionaire if I would have got into this when I was told, but I didn't understand it.
Now, all right. You already got your Bitcoin, you already got your Cardanos, you got your XRPs, and I got them. Okay, we both got them. Now, for the people that their pockets aren't as good as that they could invest thousands, what would you suggest?
If they could invest thousands?
That they can invest thousands.
They can or they can't? I'm sorry.
That they can't.
I would tell them to buy XRP and Cardano. And if you had if you had $50, buy $25 each.
Okay.
And Sandbox too. But that's the metaverse. That's like a whole different, that's a gaming.
Where you buy Sandbox at?
You could buy Sandbox on Coinbase, Crypto.com, any exchange except for Robinhood and Webull.
How about Upload?
Oh, let me see. I don't know if you could buy it on there. I have mine on Coinbase and Crypto.com. And here's the thing. They have things like PancakeSwap and Uniswap, and Postchain is coming out now. That's from like the Hex developer. Those are exchanges where you purchase crypto, but you have to buy crypto, exchange it, swap it. It's like a whole, pretty much, you remember when you first opened up your wallet.
So let's do the simplest thing, like for somebody that's not in tune as you are, as myself.
I would say
you and I are friends. We grew up together. You understand? But I got a couple of them. Coinbase, I don't understand for the life of me. I don't understand Coinbase. I have it. I don't understand it, so I don't even look at it. Robinhood, I look at. You know that the other days I was able to buy Luna. I don't know whether that's good.
That's a lottery ticket. You win, you win. If you don't, you throw the ticket out.
Okay, so that's a up and up.
Yeah, and I feel the same way about Shiba.
Okay.
Shiba I have just because I got in when it started. And it's something that's there. If it disappears, it disappears. I really don't care. I'm not gonna cry over that. But like things like that, where you're getting millions and billions of tokens, here's the math. Tonight, the market cap for the entire crypto space is 1.2 trillion or something like that, right? In order for Shiba Inu to go to a penny, I'm not saying it's impossible, unless they drop off some zeros and burn it or something. In order for Shiba Inu to even get to a penny, it has to have like 100 times more money in it than the entire market cap of every crypto today. So you're a math person more than I am. That's almost impossible, but it could happen. It can happen, but it probably
It could
won't.
happen because right now it's at such a low price that the people that actually want to see that they bought a lot of points, a lot of coins, then they could with 50 they could get 5 billion points, 5 million points.
Yeah.
And so if they have if they have that, then and everybody does it, it could lift up. I think.
Like I said, some crypto are just lottery tickets, and I don't want to waste my time. Like whatever shit coins I bought from day one, those are the only shit coins I'm ever gonna keep. I'm not buying no more, not for the fun of it. If I want to throw $100 away, I'll throw $100 into even $100 worth of Bitcoin. You get it? Because you don't need 28,000 to invest in Bitcoin, but the whole idea is you want the whole Bitcoin,
Yeah, but if you put $100, how is that? What, 27? You said?
All that shit you're talking about is
yeah, you're not making much.
You're not.
You're not making much, but if you put $100 and it goes to $1 million in 10 years, that was a good investment, right?
Yeah, but that's only
I know it's not much, but my point is I won't buy any shit coins ever again.
Okay, so now, all right. You told me about the low investment. What is a good coin to buy at a reasonable price?
I would say buy Hex, XRP, Cardano. They're all Hex right now is 5 cents.
So he thinks that.
And where you got that one at?
That one you gotta buy on MetaMask, and you have to have Ethereum, and then you swap your Ethereum. So with that,
I don't have you see that for me is out of
the range because you don't know how to do it.
Huh?
Because you don't know how to do it.
No, I don't have Ethereum.
Right, so you would have to buy Ethereum. So let's just say you want to buy $100 of Hex. You can go buy $100 of Ethereum, and then you got to go take your Ethereum. Let's say you bought it on Coinbase. You got to connect Coinbase to MetaMask, and then swap it for Hex. But that's where it gets a little technical and it discourages people. Like when I first got into crypto, there was no uphold, so I couldn't buy XRP. I found a way to buy XRP, and I had to swap it through Uniswap. Hold on one second.
You got the.
Go ahead, talk.
You told him, yo, how
Hold
you
on.
marking your shit is about talking about Louis Vuitton, how big your dick is, and what kind of car you drive. That's not a way to mark your shit. Tell him Richard Hart.
Who is that?
Some fucking this or some other Eric Wall.
Oh, Maritza, the guy's name is Vitalik Buterin. He's a young kid I believe he's from Russia. And he's like a multi-billionaire. That was the one that worked with Charles Hoskinson on the Ethereum. So yeah, basically you have to buy Ethereum, go into a swap, connect your wallet, swap it, and that's how you get your.
Let me find out Lou loves me so much that he's gonna buy me some.
Yeah, we'll buy you some because you're buying us a Lambo and a his and hers Rolex as a thank you gift, and it's not even gonna tickle your pocket. You might even say, "I'll buy you." What you want?
We said a Rolls, not a Lambo.
Oh, he wants a Rolls Royce, not the Lambo. He said he told you already. Oh well, she gotta buy me a Phantom.
I do. You know what I want? I want a 6x6 Jeep.
A 6x6 Jeep. You could buy 16 of those 6x6s.
Them shits are hot. I like that.
Yeah, I seen one yesterday. That's what we seen, right? That big Jeep.
It has 6 wheels.
Yeah. It is cool. You feel like you're back on the bus.
What? You know me with these fucking trucks.
Yeah, we've always driven trucks, but you're a bus driver.
Uh-huh.
She works for Greyhound, y'all. She retired off of Bitcoin. She retired off of Cardano.
I be tired of collecting cans.
5 cents. Hey, if I see 5, listen, I got my change. I'll be going to the bank with my change jar. And if I got $20 or $300 in change that I pick up in the house, I don't go around collecting cans though. I cash that in because every time I go out, I bring change home. And I buy.
What, Bobby Joe? You know what? I have.
Hold on a second. What?
You talk to him all because it's violent or scary bullshit. You know, we'll get locked up over here and smoke too.
Oh, they're telling Richard Hart, which I like because he's the Hex developer. You have not been into the United States in so long because they're saying, like, in other words, you're a scam artist and you're a Ponzi. And once you come to the States, you're asked to get locked up. But I have Richard Hart coming on my channel. I'm just waiting on him because he's the busy guy. And that's going to be a stream that I'm looking so forward to. Do you hear that?
Listen to me. Send me something nice. I could put it on my Facebook. So people to join could join.
I could do a video.
Huh?
I could do a video.
Do a video. I'll post it on my Facebook.
You want to do a video now? Like we can go off and just do a video, and then when we're done, I can share it with you. You asking me stuff?
And you know that if you go to the US,
I'll do it by myself.
Huh?
I'll do it by myself if you don't want to do it.
No, it's not that. It's the fact that I have to go to bed early because Tristan got a future tomorrow. And
So do you want to be part of the video? We could do it tomorrow. You could interview me, but you got to put a picture on your icon.
I put one.
Like I did a video today driving and I was like, what is crypto? If you're not interested, please keep scrolling, blah, blah, blah. You know, and then I try to break it down in 3 minutes. Yeah, so I do something like that for you. Where I get straight to the point, right?
Yeah.
All right, and Navy Federal Bank, I opened up this program today with Navy Federal Bank is now selling crypto. And that's a credit union, so that's a start. That's the first one in the U.S.
You know what we have to do? You and I are going to go somewhere, have a lunch in a nice place, and sit down and talk. And discuss it. Maybe be there, maybe I'll show my face, maybe I don't. I don't know. And discuss it, and I'll have the questions ready. You respond to them.
That's cool because I'm hungry all the time. I love to eat.
Yeah, but you have to come out your house.
I do. Whenever you're ready. When do you want to do it?
Yeah, we could go anywhere. We could go to Domino Park. We could go to one of the nice restaurants or whatever.
We can fly to New York and go wherever we want. Let's do it. You tell me when. You're the busy woman.
No, remember, Mom got operated.
Huh?
Mom got operated.
Is she okay?
She's in pain.
Oh, I hope she feels better.
I've been tending to her. I've been tending to the building. I've been tending to a lot of things. I'm talking about this graduation coming. So, you know,
what are you giving him for? What are you giving him for graduation? Crypto?
I'm already getting him crypto because this is all for him.
I hear you. This is all for my grandson. So.
This is all for him. You understand? It's gonna be a rough world out there. He has to have something.
Parents, if you have a couple extra dollars, buy your children crypto. They will enjoy it more than we will. But you know what? At least we leave them something. Something more than what we already were gonna leave if you were leaving them something. You're leaving them wealth and security.
Yep. Yep.
Actually, I think let's drop that. Let's drop that.
Walking back there.
Richard Hart, the developer of Hex. He's
Who's
in it.
it?
He's in
Who's
it.
it? Oh,
He's here. He's hanging out. He's hanging out with us.
oh.
Richard Hart. He's on the TV.
Oh,
It's all loud, right?
yeah, I'm over here like, what the heck is going on?
Oh, stay there for a minute. I want to show you something. Don't leave. Hold on.
So I have another question. Why do you think that none of these people are interested?
I took too long. I want to go toss instead.
You should, you were invited to the fire. You didn't do it.
Can you see me?
Because you were scared.
Can you see me?
Yes,
Yeah.
Look at this. How cute is this?
I saw that.
Isn't it adorable?
I loved it. I saw it.
Well, they're redoing it for me because he's supposed to be holding crypto in each hand. And this is supposed to have, in between Crypto Granny, is supposed to have an Ethereum. So, isn't it adorable? And this was given to me by the company.
That's beautiful.
Thank you. So once they send me the correct one that I designed, I'm going to give their company a 20% off link. And everybody can order their own. All you need to do is take a photograph and email it to them. That's it.
Hey,
It's pretty cute. And it's very inexpensive. It's not real, it's gold plated. It's not real gold.
okay. I'll do that with my son.
Yeah, it's cute. Even if you wear, as long as you don't shower with it. But it's a really cute piece. It's
I
fun,
love it.
right? And if this was gold, it would be about $3,000 right now.
That's my grandson, everybody.
Yes, that is our grandson. We co-grandparents.
Little A.
He's the richest 2-year-old. He's gonna have a story to tell. He got a picture holding a Dogecoin at 1 year old. And he's gonna be having that Doge money when he's 18. He's gonna be hodling for 18 years.
There you go.
And so will her son. So amen to that. We need more mothers on the channel, fathers, grandmothers, grandparents, sisters, brothers, aunts, uncles. Everybody needs to put a little something away. If you're out and you're spending money on junk, buy some crypto. Don't have to be hundreds or thousands, just a little something.
Mm-hmm.
This is going to be, at the end of the day, I try to explain to people when the internet first came out, look at MySpace and look at Facebook. Look at Facebook and look at Instagram. Look at Instagram and look at TikTok. Everything keeps getting better and better, right? This is what this is all about.
Yep.
I remember when Diane Sawyer, it was on a talk show. I played it on one of my streams on YouTube. They're like, oh, this is the internet. And they were like, oh my God, you could talk to people in other countries and other places. And they were like, yeah, and you could see them too. They said, well, you can't see them yet, but eventually you will. The Jetsons when we were kids.
Uh-huh.
That's FaceTime now. That's Duo, right? That's WhatsApp or whatever you call it. When we were kids, that was in the Jetsons. That was the future. And we were like, wow, we wish we could see people on our phone. And here we are, 2022. And we've been doing it for what? How many years now? About 10 years?
Yep. Yep.
Listen, whether you know about crypto or not, you're going to have to learn. And the saddest part is those who don't want to learn now, because this is what money is going to be all about. They're going to be asking other people to deal with their finances because they refuse to get into it at an early stage where step by step, eventually, we all understand things when we do them continuously. But in 5 years from now, if you knew you can't go to a bank anymore and you have to do everything yourself and you don't know how to do it, what are you going to do?
No, but the bottom line is that now you're buying for cheap.
Exactly.
Now
And
you're buying for cheap.
I found the best way to explain. Anybody who's investing in crypto, like the real crypto, you're investing in software. When in our lifetime did we ever have, and I say we as our people, your minorities, your middle class, we were all brought up middle class, whether it's upper or lower. I mean, we were fortunate to be middle class, right?
Yep.
When do we ever have this opportunity? So this is why people need to open up their eyes and listen. Listen, open the ears and the eyes and pay attention to everything.
Very humble people.
Yes.
Very humble.
Yes, and I would love for people to just pay attention. Like I said, my family, whoever didn't want to jump on board, God bless you and good luck.
Yeah.
You want to know, you can ask me, but I will never tell you again, hey, do this, do that. It's like talking to a wall.
And I try talking to people, and all they say is it's not definite. When am I going to see my return? When am I going to become rich? When this? And I tell them, listen, you go to the casinos, you put in hundreds of dollars. You could put in up to $500, $600, $700. Because my family does that.
Right.
And they come out broke.
Yep.
Why not give me that money? I'll put it somewhere for you, and we'll talk in a couple of years. And this is your money. I'm not hit them in the head.
What I would like people to do as a recommendation, most people have $100 somewhere, somehow. Take $50, buy crypto, buy something like Cardano or XRP. And always remember, if you're watching my channel, I don't get paid to talk about anything. I'm not shilling no coins. I'm just telling you what I believe in. I'm not a financial advisor. Take $50 and buy something like Cardano or XRP. Take $50 and put it in a savings account. Look at your account in 1 year from the day you deposit it into XRP in your bank account. I guarantee you this. Not certain in crypto, but I guarantee you, if you bought $50 in Cardano or XRP in a year from now, those $50 could be $5,000, maybe $500. Those $50 in the bank, you know what they're gonna be, Maritza?
$50 and $3. $53.
Maybe $53 if you're lucky, right?
Yep.
Maybe 51 and change, and then you can listen. That's a good experiment.
You know what? Now, tomorrow I'm gonna be busy. Saturday might be a little down day. I have a whole big liter of Bacardi filled with coins. Then I have that big jug filled with coins, and then I have other coins everywhere. I think between the coins that I have, I think we should have at least $2,000. I'll bring it, put it in my bag, and I'm gonna stay with it.
There you go, do that. And I recommend, we got a viewer, thank you for coming on. If you have any questions, put it in the comment. Maritza and I are investors in cryptocurrencies, and we're just talking everything crypto. I don't know. I have one viewer here right now.
All that hex came from someone else.
Okay, I'm gonna watch this tonight. You see this guy, Richard Hart, you'll be like, oh, this guy is nuts.
Listen to me.
Yeah.
Let's do one of these crypto things. Try to do it about 8 o'clock, maybe 8:30. So then we could really get deep into it.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I know it's past your bedtime. Yeah.
No, it's not past my bedtime. It's just like I'm busy. My days are really long.
Right. All right, we'll definitely get together. I'm gonna cut it short anyways, but I love you. And
I love you too, Mom.
Coming on, and let's do this. We could do this tomorrow. We'll do a Friday night chat.
Yeah, we got some drinks on.
Yeah.
We're Hawaiian.
Oh man, you need to come over and I'll take you for one. I haven't had one of those in years. I've been drinking my coffee.
I be doing them delicious.
Really? And you don't even drink?
I drink that.
Oh, I'm jealous. I haven't had one of those, I think, probably in 18 years.
But if I go to your house and I do it,
His
I'm
brain
gonna
doesn't
have to take a cab.
backwards. He looks at opportunity.
That sounds good,
Looks at opportunity.
because I can't drive you after that.
I'll take a
Saturday,
cab.
Saturday's Devontae Davis and Rolly Romero fight. It's gonna be a great fight if you want to come over and you're not scared of the
We're
company.
gonna have a full house.
Not full like that, but a couple of the fellas will be around.
Oh.
Most of them are going on vacation, you know, it's Memorial weekend.
It's a secret, but we actually. I'll fucking get the check mark.
But, you know, every Saturday's fight night for me. I'm into that. So. And the kid, Romero, said, bet your house that he's going to win. But I'm not betting $1 on him. He said he going to beat the crap out of Devontae. And sometimes people just talk so much crap, you know?
Listen, we're gonna just set a date so then give me a heads up before time.
You got it.
And oh my
I thank you for coming on, and you need to get your son to put your picture or some picture, even if it's your dog.
I'll try to do it now.
All right, do that. You have a good night. Thank you for coming on. You've been a great, you had a lot of great questions and a great guest.
Love you.
To the moon!
To the moon.
Love you. Say something in Spanish to the Spanish people. Oh, you know what we should do? We should definitely do that video in English and Spanish. You translate. All right?
All right.
Ok, está bien. Gracias. Muchas gracias, mi amiga.
Muchas gracias. Que pasen, que disfruten su noche. Nos vemos mañana. Vamos a hablar de cripto y vamos a enseñarle cómo entrar a este mundo.
Gracias. Buenas noches. Bendiciones.
Usted va a ser millonario.
Sí. Ajá.
Y yo pido 10%. Let me stop joking.
Peace. Good night.
Good night.
Thank you, everyone. Good night, Maritza.
Good night, my love.